So afraid of it. If you are afraid of money, excuse the coffee in the background. If you're afraid of money, you're kind of missing a very, very important part. If you're afraid of the money thing, you're missing a very, very important part of your development because there are very few variables that are going to convey to you how useful you are, like money, like the amount of money coming into your bank account. And it's just a raw fact, dude. If you're making like no money right now, it's because you're only so useful. Sucks to suck. But the reality is, you can get better. You can get much, much better. And you can get so much better that you become irreplaceable. And that's kind of the goal here. Guys, money is a tool. Oh, I should probably get rid of my little face here and present properly. Money is a tool, not a fear object. Okay, money fear comes from not knowing how to get it, keep it, or understand it. Money is meant to be used clearly, not carried with anxiety. The goal is to use money as a tool instead of fearing it, guys. Okay. Why do we fear money? Right? We're like, our parents tell us, you know, oh, this costs so much. I have to do rent. I have taxes. I have bills. Um, Mainly we fear money because our parents or people in our environment fear money. Um, we live as a society in a very, very closed, kind of sheltered understanding of what life is. The reality is, as human beings, by virtue of having all these tools available to us, we have the ability to essentially create magic all the time. But we don't see that unless people around us are creating magic all the time. And it's the harsh truth about the parents and the people that live around us because at some point, most people give up. At some point, someone says, I am done with trying to create magic. Okay. And that is why they end up having children that fear, exciting things in life because they fear exciting things in life. Um, but the reality is money is a force in life. It's an abstraction of a very natural thing that happens. Okay. What I want you to understand is that yes, the dollars in the sense they make things possible for you, but that your hours are not equated to the money that you make because money is a value thing, right? That's what I said in the beginning. You're only going to make as much money as you are valuable, and so when it comes down to saying, my hours are worth $20, if you genuinely believe that your hours are worth 15, 20, 30, $50, maybe you're missing a major, major point in life in the sense that the two most important currencies you have are actually time and energy. Okay, time and energy are way more important than money, um, because they can create money. And so, if you understand this about yourself and you understand what you're going through currently, um, you got to realize that money is not tied to the hours that you work. Okay, it's tied to who you are and what you know and what you're capable of. If you have that worldview, you're going to be bored. You're going to be boxed in. You're going to be unfree to go and make cool things that only you can make. Money tracks the value you give to other people. How valuable are you to your family? How much money do you think you're worth to them? Or your significant other, or your brother, or your sister, or your friends, right? That's it. It's a value thing. Solving problems for other people is a core money skill, guys, right? So what problem do you solve for your family? You're a kid. You give your parents, I guess, a reason to live, right? You give them a reason to be excited about waking up and building a life. The vast majority of parents have kids, in my opinion. uh, why you're valuable to your friends. Maybe you give them feedback. Maybe you give them a good time, enjoyment, entertainment. Maybe you give them a place of belonging, right? So value matters a lot. And what's hard to understand is how to become valuable to strangers, especially because the school systems don't really teach us this stuff. But it really is what's going to determine how much money you make, how valuable you are to another person, how you make them feel, very important. But really, the technical skill, what are you capable of doing for someone else? If you say, hey, can you do my taxes? Do you know how to do taxes? If you say, hey, can you diagnose my condition accurately and then give me a solution for it so that I don't hurt anymore? That's really valuable for someone else. When you don't have your health, nothing else matters. When you have your health, everything else matters, right? Really, really valuable. So ask yourself this question: am I solving problems and making life easier for someone? The next natural step, if you want to make more money, which you should, money really does matter. I'll hopefully convey that to you over the course of this PowerPoint. How many people have this problem that you're solving for someone else? Are you capable of solving that problem for these other people? Can you be a friend to everyone in the world? Can you solve everyone's health problem? What if you don't have the knowledge to diagnose certain things? Can you fix everyone's car? Probably not, right? Humans are a part of nature, guys. And this is a fundamental philosophy of mine, one that I want to convey to every single person I can, because nature is really, really sustainable. Right? The world is a miraculous freaking place. And the cool part is, right, humans are a part of nature. Humans are nature. Guys, this body that we have, this is nature. This is natural. It's miraculous that it doesn't fall apart or explode, or that we can heal ourselves, that it's a standing unit that can feed itself, and it thinks. It's very, very cool. Um, and as such, we should understand what this body is and how the philosophies of how this thing was created, not in like a spiritual sense, but how the things function, how your cells function, how uh, your environment functions, right? How that relates to the outside world, how that relates to the world around us. Problem solving is a part of life, guys. Adaptation is really just solving a bunch of problems, right? Okay, it's cold out. Great, now I have fur. Okay, it's I need to be hard to kill and eat. Great, let's get some scales. Okay, I need to be light. Okay, let's make my bones hollow so I can fly. Right? These are all problems that needed to be solved for these organisms. Okay? And they did it through adaptation. Really valuable for them. Humanity and capitalism are not separate from nature. We are a part of it. Everything that we breathe out, a tree breathes in, right? We're just one continuous system. So when we're afraid of this money thing, really, I don't think it's money that we're afraid of. I think it's afraid of understanding our part in the larger thing. Money is one human adaptation for social order and role clarity, but it's not perfect. It's not going to be perfect because logic is only a part of the equation. It's one of the tools to create stability and role clarity. And it's something that, a lot of people are going to say it's not the whole equation, so I'm not going to worry about it, but it's a pretty big fucking part of the equation, guys. Like, pay attention to this thing. If you don't have money in the United States, you are not going to have a lot of responsibilities. For men, particularly, having responsibilities tends to be a part of feeling valued. Okay, I know that as a man. For a woman, I grew up with a single mother, or anyone in between, right? Money is our means for freedom, to be able to make your own choices. So you're not beholden to someone else. Right? Do you want freedom in life? What problem could you solve this week that would make someone's life easier, guys? Right? If problem solving is a part of life, whose problems and what problems are you solving? Are you a part of life or are you something else? You tell me. Do you want to be a part of life or do you want to be something else? The annoying part is I used to think freedom was doing whatever I wanted. And that was the time in my life that I was the least free. I mean, I was like getting stoned all the time. I didn't have the friends that I wanted. I didn't have the girls I wanted. I didn't have this excitement to wake up in the morning all the time. And I knew that there was something else. There was something going on that I wasn't paying attention to. It's because I wasn't disciplined. Really, the most free people in life are the most disciplined people in life. The most disciplined people are the most free in life, guys. Why? Because if you give value to someone one time, and then the rest of the time you're just an asshole and you're useless, do you think they're gonna perceive you as valuable? If you're a good friend sometimes, do you think that they're gonna want to hang out with you and give you opportunities or whatever? Maybe introduce them to people that matter, introduce you to people that matter, right? You want to be a good friend all the time. They say joy is the mesh of friendship. Why? Because sometimes you got to put on an act, but you got to be consistent. Consistency and showing up daily are required to earn more and to build. So one of the things that's lacking tremendously in young folks is because our consistency is based on other people telling us what to do. It's a syllabus, it's a class, it's a grade, it's our parents telling us we're going to get in trouble. But it doesn't come from this part right here. It's like soul, this life part of you. Consistency is required to unlock your destiny. That's what I read on a church billboard on the way to work. Learning consistently is a part of becoming more valuable. Your ability to solve more and harder problems comes from whether or not you're consistently showing up. Because if you're not consistently showing up, how are you going to learn? How are you going to iterate? How are you going to? Iteration is basically doing the same thing again and again and again, but like making a little bit better. Um, I'll give you an example for playing music. If any of you have ever played guitar or drums or created anything, I remember when I was playing drums, people used to say to me that it's better to practice for 2 minutes a day than 10 hours in one day. Why? Because when you go to sleep at night, your hands, your muscle memory, it's miraculous if you work on a little exercise the day before and you wake up the next day, it's easier. That's the consistency. That's your neurons, your neural networks building. You need that, okay? Because freedom, guys, is not this like escape from reality. It's not this like, oh, I'm gonna go and live in the woods and everything's gonna be fine. Try living in the fucking woods. It's not easy. Okay. It's like really hard. Okay. Freedom, think of freedom as there's some rules and regulations around you. Okay. There's like some things that your parents want you to do, there's some things that society wants you to do. There's some things that, the laws of nature, the laws of physics want you to do. Okay. Um, you can't just take all those things away, right? That's being irresponsible. All right. But there is a way to navigate all of those things and still find the best, most natural way for you to exist. That to me is freedom, right? Freedom and discipline and consistency and the destiny stuff. It's like it's all tied in, strangely enough. And don't ever think to yourself that escaping all of that is going to give you the freedom. Most of the time, it's just going to weigh you down. If you don't have responsibility for your own life, if you don't believe in karma, you're not going to earn freedom. You ain't a rock, and rocks aren't free either. Delayed gratification and lifestyle restraints. I'll tell you, money wise. Okay, I've been talking a lot about other things because I want to like let you know that if you don't have money, you basically can't do anything for anyone. You need to have some amount of money value. If you're not valuable, you can't do anything for anyone. If you don't have value, people can't rely on you. If you want a family, if you want a significant other, if you want a community, if you want people that like you, you're gonna need to be valuable to them. Okay, you want to build that value over time. You got to show up every single time and do that stuff. I'll just go back to this real quick. The consistency, the consistency, right? If you don't show, if you're an hourly worker and you don't show up to work, how are you going to get money? Okay, if they've said that your hours are worth a certain amount and you don't consistently show up, how are you going to accumulate? If you're a business owner and you're providing solutions to people, do you think that those people are going to be happy if you just say, today I'm not providing solutions? Dude, I paid for that. Imagine Netflix is just like, I'm going to take a day off. You're like, what? It's Friday, dude. Consistency. When you start accumulating this money, when you get this consistency, guys, you got to really think about delaying gratification. You ought to think about delayed gratification. Because, good Lord, if you just spend all of it, you're not going to have any. Okay. So you can make $1 million a year. You can make $10 million a year. If you spend 20 million, the average American makes $1 and spends two. It's hilarious. So basically, they give $1 value and they take $2 of value. You want to be that guy or girl or them? What are you doing? Don't be an asshole. Okay, just like fucking get to work. Okay. So, delay your gratification. Do not upgrade your lifestyle before you can earn it. Do not delay your lifestyle. Do not upgrade your lifestyle before you can earn it. Patrick Bet David, quote I remember. He's like, dude, just keep the same thing going for the next 5 years. Don't buy the car. Don't do. I mean, if you need transportation, you need transportation, right? It's an efficiency thing. But if you have a car, don't buy the really nice car. Okay. If you have a house or you have an apartment, don't buy the really nice thing. Okay. If you have a watch, don't buy the really nice watch. Leave it for 5 years. Okay. Just let the money accumulate. Let your understanding accumulate. He said, in 5 years, you'll wake up and your bed will be softer. You'll feel lighter. The house will smell better. Your clothes will feel better. They will fit better. Your relationships will be smoother because you delayed that gratification, because you put in the work and you left that stuff to build. It takes time. Early in life, keep lifestyle stable for years, then upgrade naturally. Okay? Don't go and blow your money on stupid stuff, guys. It's not worth it. You should play with money. I'll talk about that in a second. Play with your value. What is play? Why do human beings play together? To learn. How can you learn how valuable you are if you don't play with it? Okay, think in 5 year chunks, guys. 5 years. Okay, non 1 year spikes. Okay, you're in a marathon. Hopefully, you want to live to 80 plus years old. So 80 can be divided by 5 a lot of times. 80 can be divided by 1 a lot of times too. But if you just think in 1 year chunks, I mean, school's not even in 1 year chunks, right? You got like 4 years, 5 years, sometimes 6 years, right? Sometimes you got a chunk of like 12 years if you're going to medicine or something. Luckily, that's structured for you. When you get out of that stuff, it's not. So think in 5 year chunks. Most people overestimate what they can accomplish in 1 year and underestimate what they can accomplish in five because they don't plan. You can accomplish a shitload in 5 years. I promise you. What is one lifestyle upgrade you are tempted to make that would actually slow down your freedom? Give me a number, huh? Pause this if you didn't get through this. Give me a number. How much money do you want to make? Write it down. Write it down. I'm gonna write it down right here. You know how many zeros a million has? A million has 6 zeros, guys. You know how many zeros a billion has? Pretty sure a billion has 9 zeros. And it's good to set this in a place that you don't really think that you can hit. Okay, but you know you might be able to hit if you like really push yourself. This is a really good test of how optimistic you are. And I'll tell you, optimism usually wins. Optimism usually wins. The ignorance cost. Alex Ramosi, straight stolen from that man. If you haven't followed him on Instagram, whatever, you should. He's smarter than me. Very good person. Your current gap is paid for your daily ignorance. Huh. Basically, look at the number that you've written down, okay, and think about what you're making right now. Subtract the two, and you'll realize what the gap is in terms of how much value you can provide, how much value you think you can provide. Your current gap is paid for daily and lost income. And it's an ignorance gap. It's you don't know enough about yourself, about what you can provide people. If you want a new income level, you must pay to learn it. You either pay time or money. If you got time, which you might, pay the time, get the disciplines. If you don't have the time, pay the money. The faster you invest in learning, the faster you close the gap, okay? A lot of people are like, dude, you gotta save your money, you gotta save your money, you gotta save your value. Why? Do you think you're not gonna be as valuable tomorrow? I hope you know you're gonna be more valuable tomorrow. Why? Because you're building disciplines. You're getting fit. You're watching the right stuff. You're showing up. You got the right people around you. You know what you want to do in 5 years. You are your primary asset, guys. That's you. Okay. You are your primary asset. You are your best investment. You are your greatest value generation. Okay. You are your habits. You are the things that you eat. You are the things that you think about. Hard, 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 really hard to get that process moving. I get it. I get it. But just try one thing. The way that I started, I was like, you know what? I'll just record a video every day. I'll just record a video every day. Do you think that's an easy thing to do? About what? When are you gonna record a video? You know what I mean? So it's like at least get you moving. Okay, but let me just define something for you. An asset is something that makes money, something that gives you value. Okay, a house, property, a business, maybe a car gives you value. Maybe your friends are really good networkers. Maybe they just are entertaining. Maybe your parents give you value because they give you advice and they give you love, right? You have some assets in your life, but there's liabilities too. There's things that cost money. Maybe you're like addicted to something, you know? Maybe you're buying Alani every morning. That's a liability on your energy levels too. Maybe you're maybe your friend every time they want to go out, they like blow their whole bank account and they expect you to do the same. That's a liability. Okay. Assets and liabilities. You are the one that makes the most money for you. Maybe it might be your parents right now, but hopefully you want to make more money than your parents. It's a good thing. Your spending habits can erase any income level. Okay. So you are your primary asset. Your liability might be your spending habits. Save before you spend, guys. Protect future choices. You got to have a treasure vault. Okay. You got to have a treasure vault. This is not financial advice. This is what I do. This is how I think of my money. Okay. This is how I think about value. Every purchase should be tested. Does it buy your freedom or not? Is it one step closer to you being free in this life or not? If you work and your pay is $15 an hour and you're buying something that's $60 an hour, is it worth 4 hours of your time to buy that thing? Distractions have real costs in time and environment. You are a makeup of the five people you spend the most time with, hands down. If you're watching this course, you're kind of spending time with me. Good. A simple percentage-based budget creates control and direction, essentials, savings, enjoyment, investment in yourself. If you make less than $100,000 a year, which probably is the vast majority of you, 60 to 70% of your income is going to go through essentials. Okay, you got to get some gas, you got to feed yourself, you might have a subscription or something that you just, you probably don't have much to be honest, but 10% if you make less than $100,000 a year, save. 10% if you make less than $100,000 a year, enjoy. Use that for fun money. Play with it. You know, you go and buy whatever you want. Go and get your nails done or whatever. You know what I mean? 10% is investments. That's the play money. That's saying, oh, I'm going to invest in a stock. I'm going to go and, I don't know, let me go buy this thing and try to sell it. Try to understand some business stuff. 10%. Okay. Um, Now you can alter these numbers, but these will serve you fairly well. You got to be saving something. Okay, there's hard times coming. I promise you. Don't mess it up. If you're making more than $250,000 a year, your lifestyle is not going to change very much after $250,000 a year. Okay. Um, you're going to have to spend less than 60% on your essentials, which is great. Your savings, 10%, still quite a substantial thing. You might be thinking, why don't you save more, right? Well, this is a Grant Cardonism. He said, if you're saving all the time, you're managing money instead of thinking about how can I be more valuable? This is the only amount of value that I'm ever going to have. How can I be more? How can I be a larger tree? Okay. I would keep savings and enjoyments the same. Investments, though, play with more money. Put that stuff out there. Create more assets. Understand what's going on. Okay. Your practice begins now, guys. Calculate your current monthly spend. It's the nearest $100. Get the full amount up front in the beginning of the month so you can start learning the skills to save. Okay, but you got to calculate this first. If you don't calculate this first, your parents are going to be like, what? You're just asking for this amount of money. You're like, yeah, well, I do this, 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 this. And be like, okay, don't do this, this, this. You'd be like, all right, fine. I do this, this, this. And this costs this much. Can I get that up front? They're going to be like, why? What asshole told you to do this? What am I paying you or something? Your parents, intelligent parents do pay their kids. Really. Um, get the full amount up front and then do this equation and see how it works for you. See if you have the discipline to keep the savings where they are, or better yet, if you have a system that won't let you touch it. Build a one-page budget and start following it. All right, guys, actualize your potential. I'll see you at the next one.